Boom! We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Life as a Chad YouTube channel. I thank all of you for being here, wherever you may be, and of course, however you may be listening. I'm going to rifle through all of this because I don't have a ton of time while I'm recording this. But what a disaster it has been for the Republican Party with regards to the 2022 midterm elections. Now, not every race has been called. I am recording this at approximately 6:30 on the 9th, the day after. But it is not looking anywhere near what was predicted by most, I would say. Yet again, most are wrong. And I said that in my election prediction. I said that although all the signs look a certain way, ultimately you never know, because I gave an anecdotal piece of evidence for myself that I thought there was no way Trump was going to lose the 2020 election, and he did. Um, I- you know, uh, and basically what it came down to for me was the fact that you never know what the voter turnout's going to be. You never know the extenuating circumstances. And quite frankly, you cannot put any statistical rating on how dumb the American public can be. For me, it is absolutely shocking. I do not know how much worse it needs to get. So I have a few general, just to finish that thought, I don't know how much worse it needs to get before there are sweeping changes. It looks like it needs to get much, much worse before sweeping changes are made. Here are my general thoughts with regards to the 2022 midterm elections and kind of uh, really what boils and sums it all up. Number one, um, for me personally, it's either I am seeing it totally wrong and things are not that bad, or, and when I mean, comparatively for myself, the rest of society does not see it as badly as how I see it. And if that's the case, then that is on me. I also think it's possible that things actually are very bad, but well, the West is just not very intelligent, and there's not a ton of common sense politics remaining. There's a lot of emotional politicking that takes place, and I think both parties are aware of that. But I think the more likely situation is two things, and these are the main 2 points that I want to make here. Okay, is I think it is far more likely that a majority of people see how bad it. By the way, the thing that I have in the background are this is from electionbettingodds.com. This is where the money is at for the Senate. Dems currently hold an 80.8% chance of winning, which is up 48.9% from yesterday, and the Republicans hold an 80% chance of winning the House. I think most people, and DeSantis is now a 27% chance winner for the presidency, which I will also get to, and I actually think that that's a pretty smart betting prediction. Okay, I think people realize how bad things are, but I don't think they have confidence that Republicans are the answer to fix it. And in which case, that is not good for the Republican Party. And I got to say, I can't blame them, because when the Republicans had the House and the Senate, they did nothing. When they had control of the presidency, the House, and the Senate, they did not secure the border. They did not get a ton of funding. They did not get a ton of fencing for the border. They did not. Hell, Roe v. Wade wasn't taken care of until the Democrats had control, and it wasn't the politicians who took care of it. It was the Supreme Court. Okay, so that's number one. I think that it is I think it's far more likely that it is a referendum, and they're just, the bottom line is there is not, people realize how bad things are, but they don't have a ton of confidence that Republicans are the ones to fix it. The number two thing that has come out of this, and I thought this back in 2020, the Republican Party continues to make the mistake of listening and being swayed and being manipulated by the left into thinking that they need to find these diverse candidates. And when you really get down to thinking about it, it is such faulty logic. It is mind blowing that they could even go down that road, because if you were to just sum it up, the left, by and large, does not like America. By and large, they want to change everything about America and the direction it is going. So the diversity, all of the other things are counter to what America is, the traditional American stamp. And so if you're conservative, you want to conserve that. But when you start taking these left ideas in how they choose their candidates, and you start taking that and putting it into your own party, well, you're literally going against, you're going against yourself. You're hurting yourself. And the bottom line is, even though we saw in Texas a largely Hispanic area that has voted Democrat for a long fucking time, vote for a conservative, even though we saw that happen, and even though you see some African American people popping up and getting, some votes and things like that, and Oregon, flipped a little bit, and, there's only a few answers for that, I guess. The bottom line is the Republican Party is the party that represents specifically white men, white Christian men, and white Christian people in general. The common denominator being white, okay? And I'm all for African Americans and Hispanics coming into the party. I'm all for that. What I'm not for is changing the party and making concessions in order to try and get some of that vote, and consistently being disappointed and forgetting and neglecting your own base. Trump did that in 2020 and it was a huge mistake. We have heard, what's her name? The blonde chick. I'm blanking on her name. Ann Coulter talk about it. If the Republican Party just focused on their base, they would win. If they just focused on their base, they would win. And I'll give you a perfect example of not focusing on your base. In Pennsylvania, in what should have been an easy fucking victory over a nearly brain dead buffoon who on the debate stage was 2 seconds from shiting himself, okay, with what should have been an easy victory. Instead, they put forth a candidate who on his own show was for genital mutilation and gender swapping, basically, and who is a Muslim, which all of those things are literally completely contrary to the base and the main concerns of the Republican Party, or excuse me, the people of who the Republican Party should represent. And so, quite frankly, the Republican Party has nobody to blame but themselves. They fucked this up. This is a disaster, in my opinion. Who knows? It could end up changing here in the next 2 hours. I have no idea. But in my opinion, this is a complete disaster. I think that the two things that I said are pretty accurate and are a perfect snapshot into this election and kind of how the American people feel. The main 2 points I said: number one, people knowing things are bad, but not believing that the Republican Party is the party to fix it, not having faith that they can do it; and two, the Republican Party not representing their base and taking ideas and philosophies from the left and implementing it into their party, and the base is like, no, fuck that, I'm not voting for that. Now, really quickly about the presidency, the reason why DeSantis is now the favorite for the presidency, it's simple, because all the people that Trump was known as the king maker, and I've been very vocal. Obviously, I voted for Trump twice, but I've also said that he failed if we're looking at it very critically, he failed to live up to quite a few of his promises, whereas DeSantis has gotten shit done. Now, there are a few concerns I have with DeSantis as well, but Trump was known as the kingmaker, and a lot of the people that he, king makes, or whatever you want to call it, or put forth, lost. They did not win. Carrie Lake is looking like she's going to lose. Oz is looking like he's going to lose. Herschel Walker is looking like he's going to lose. Um, so, and DeSantis flipped a deep blue county in the state of Florida. So I can see why he is now the favorite to not only lead the Republican Party, but win the presidency in 2024. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think. I'll probably do another video on this, wrapping it all up. I am very curious what you guys think on this election. Did you vote? And what were the main issues? If you voted, why didn't, or excuse me, if you didn't vote, why not? Things like that. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It takes 1.25 seconds. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow and facts or feelings, because your feelings don't matter. See you goofballs next time. Love you. Bye-bye.